My nation family, what's going on? Let's get it. Shout out to everybody pulling up. Exacting Raider back again with another quick live. Actually, no, it won't be a quick live. We'll be on here as long as you guys want me on because we got a lot to discuss. I've been holding back off of Instagram and just really putting my thoughts out there. I'm like, what better way than just come on, talk some football with the nation, and we'll talk about it together because I'm hearing a lot of stuff going out there. But before we get into that, if you guys are just joining in, this is your first time, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like, and hit the bell so you guys can be notified when we go live in a future video. Shout out to everyone pulling up. We got Van City, my guy. Primos was good, brother. Everything is fine dandy today. We got Robert Pena. We got Chansworthy. What's good? So, guys, as we get more people coming in, share the link if you guys can. Tell a friend to tell a friend. As my boy Wasted always says, is Derek Carr a scapegoat? Like, that's when we need, like, that's the question. And that's going to be the question we're going to talk about today. Chansworthy says, it's time. People hate to hear it, but it's time. Van City says, this is absolutely fucking freaky. The amount of following this guy reminds me of Charles Manson. Curtis Williams, Primos, what's the word, family? Well, I'm just hearing there's a lot of debate going on right now. That was Derek Carr a scapegoat? Was he not? He has, Derek Carr is getting cut because like Josh McDaniels is using him as an excuse on why the Raiders are they started 2-7, they're 6-9 right now. Yeah, mathematically still in the playoffs or has a shot in the playoffs, but we know it's not going to happen. Really, a lot of Carr fans, and even not even just fans, but media guys. There's media out there that is saying that Derek Carr could have been a scapegoat in all of this. And I want to get the nation's thoughts on that. I'm going to give you guys my opinion on that. My boy Nate won't be joining us today, unfortunately. He is working. He's all right. Everything's all right for our primo Nate. My internet's kind of tripping out a little bit. I'm trying to make it work here, guys. Trying to make it work. But yeah, my primo Nate, he will be joining us this Sunday for the watch party. So guys, please spread the link out, spread the channel out. We are going to have our first watch party this Sunday for the Raiders and Niners. We're going to give you guys our initial reactions of everything going on in the game, and we would love for you guys to join us on Sunday, and we would love that you guys could bring all the Raider Nation with you guys. Robert Pena says Mark Davis is the one who asked for him to be benched. And that's the thing is that, Robert, we know this, right? The article came out that Mark Davis is the one that orchestrated Carr being benched, but yet the media and these Carr fans don't want to hear that. They want to go back to Ziegler. They want to go back to McDaniels and McDaniels and Ziegler are the ones that's like setting Derek Carr up. It's like, it's not a setup. And first of all, if it was a setup, why didn't Derek do anything about it? And here's what I mean. Josh McDaniels put the ball in Derek Carr's hands, right? When the extension was made, Ziegler, the contract was known to people that the contract, it was a multi-year contract, but it was known to us fans that it was basically a 1-year prove-it deal, right? So how is Derek Carr being set up because of the contract? Because if we know it as fans, you cannot tell me that Derek Carr did not know I'm basically on a 1-year prove-it deal, right? Like, that's my thinking. That's where my thinking is that if Derek Carr was somehow set up, as people are making it out to be, that he was set up to be the scapegoat, then why they're making it seem like Derek had no knowledge of Josh McDaniels and Ziegler kind of throwing him under the bus. You had, prior to the Broncos game, you had 6 times to either tie the game or go down and win the game, and you went 0 for 6. After that Broncos game, you were 2-8. And then even now with the Steelers, you had another chance to go down and win the game. You throw an interception on an overthrow to Renfro. I'm not saying that Josh McDaniels gets a pass, because there's been some play calling from Josh McDaniels this season that's been like, dude, what are you calling out there? But if we're going to, we can't, like, why are we not going to look at our 9-year quarterback? I'm I'm glad that Mark Davis seen the light, because there's only so many times people want to talk about the quarterback carousel. There's only so many times you could do the head coaching carousel and expect difference. Expect a different season. People expect Derek Carr to go in his 10th season and magically get it right. That's just not the way this thing works. He either has it or he doesn't. There's plenty of times where, even going live, when I went to go see the Raiders and Patriots game live, there was plenty of opportunities that Carr could have pushed the ball down the field, or he could have hit the open man. But man, he looks somewhere else. He checks it down. He takes a sack, throws it away. Like, no, we need a quarterback that is going to improvise. Because I'll ask people this. Does Andy Reid tell Patrick Mahomes to improvise? Does Sean McDermott tell Josh Allen to improvise? Hell, I'll even say, does Todd Bowles tell Tom Brady to improvise? That's my thing. That's my thing on it, is that Carr is not an improviser, and it's not a shot at him. That's just who he is. He's not an improviser. He's a pocket passer. As long as the pocket is clean, he can torture defenses. We've seen it before. We've seen it time and time again. But what we also seen is multiple interceptions and game clinching interceptions that he just throws it right to the defender. That's my thing on it, is that he's just been up and down, and it is just time for both parties to move on. Van City, shout out to you. A Carr fan didn't kill Nate because he looked at Derek the wrong way? Question mark. Bro, it's hecka funny. No, Nate doesn't get any. Bro, I'm the one that get killed, Van City. When it comes to Raiders primos, I'm the one that gets killed. Nate tries to be in the middle, but it's kind of hard for him. Big Mike, my guy, in the building. Shout out to you, Big Mike. Thank you for pulling up. Van City, McZiegler were the first 2 guys in 9 years that had the grapefruits to look Derek and be like, sorry, bud, you very simply aren't that good. And Van City, this is what I'm talking about. That who's to say John Gruden didn't want to pull the plug? Who's to say Jack Del Rio didn't want to pull the plug? But instead of them pulling the plug, Mark Davis pulled the plug on them. Now, of course, with the John Gruden situation, we know he got fired. That was not Mark Davis, pulling the plug on him. But what I'm saying is that Ziegler and McDaniels, who's to say? I'll say this real quick, because we know Mark Davis pulled the plug, saying, hey, yeah, bench Derek Carr, bench him. Now, this is from a money standpoint, so Derek Carr doesn't get injured. He doesn't get $40 million guaranteed. Everyone's happy. Well, Raiders are happy. Now, if they can find a trade partner, then Derek Carr keeps that contract. Raiders can move on and go find themselves a different quarterback. That way, both parties are happy. But I want to say this, Van City. Who's to say that McDaniels and Zeke didn't have talks with Mark Davis before and was like, hey, Mark Davis, Derek Carr ain't the guy. Who's this? Because, yeah, they met these past 2 days, I believe, prior to the news dropping that he got benched. But I'm saying, who's to say that this wasn't going on through the entire season? Maybe when they started 2-7, they lost to the Jaguars. Who's to say, yo, Mark Davis, he ain't the guy? or they lost to the Colts. Mark Davis, he is not the guy. We need to go get someone different. We need to bench him and see what we got in Stidham. And who's to say Mark Davis was like, no, Carr's the guy. He's going to get it right. And then after seeing these last 5 weeks, yeah, they were winning, but let's not say, oh, Derek Carr is the reason we won, because if that's the situation, okay, Derek Carr is the reason we won, but then I'm going to throw in your face, Derek Carr is the reason we lost. If we're going to play that game, then I'm going to play that game too and say that he lost. He lost us games. If he won us games, he lost us games. But what I'm saying is that who's to say this conversation wasn't happening all season long? Let me get your guys' thoughts on that. Do you guys think this was an ongoing conversation between Mark Davis, between Josh McDaniels, and between Ziegler? Or do you think in 2 days after the Steelers game, they were like, yep, bench Derek Carr? Was this like, or do you guys think this was an ongoing thing? Chance Worthy said this is not a setup. Fancy says Al, we're still here. Carr would, if Al was still here, Carr would have been gone a good 7 years ago. That's true. That's true. Chanceworthy. The media was on our dick in the offseason. Now they talking shit again. Yeah, they can't make up their mind, man. Curtis Williams. People can think what they want, family. In my opinion, in my Nino Brown voice, to Carr, you fucked up. You fucked up big time. You're incapable of running this shit. Sit your $5 ass. Bro, Curtis, you're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong. Make my Van City with the Canadian Destroyer salute, bro. Chansworthy. Derek is gone because he failed to execute the offense, period, point blank. Now, we got to remember this, guys. He's not gone. He's only benched. Like, I was watching Hammers live yesterday. I even popped in for a little bit. And he did say something that we gotta remember. We gotta pump the brakes. Derek Carr is still part of the team. He's just inactive for the last 2 weeks, and he's not going to be starting, of course, in the last 2 weeks. But he is still under contract with the Raiders. Now, the three days that we really are going to focus on is the 3 days after the Super Bowl. What are the Raiders going to do? Are the Raiders going to keep his contract? Are they going to trade his contract away, or are they going to cut him? When on those 3 days, guys, best believe we are going to be just up and down on that news, trying to see what news drops regarding Derek Carr, because we got to remember that. Now, I would say this, Chansworthy. Now, this doesn't excuse that this is a sign that Derek could be gone. We'll say that, but he's still on the team. So we do got to I have to pump the brakes, and I just want to say that we got to pump the brakes on Derek Carr is gone, because he's not. He's still on the team. He's just not physically with the team at the moment. Jacob Aid, I love you, Derek Carr. Hey, I respect it. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, man. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Van City, Mikey, my brother, was good, my man. Chansworthy says TB12. I mean, he'll come in cheap, and he knows McDaniels. I remember I was watching Shannon Sharp today, and he said that TB12 made Josh McDaniels, which that could be true. And in fact, it probably is likely true. But I will say this, that TB12 and Josh McDaniels are going to click because they know each other. Josh McDaniels is going to call plays that works for Tom Brady, and Tom Brady is not going to be the guy that's going to say yes to everything. He is going to make checks at the line. He is going to audible. He's going to check out of a run into a pass or check out of a pass into a run. He is going to do that, something that Derek Carr is not doing enough. He does do audibles, but he is mostly a yes man, guys. We have to remember that, because if it was me, I would be checking a lot out of the play calling that Josh McDaniels was doing. So I think I would like TB12. Now, here's the thing, Chansworthy. You don't go get TB12 and don't draft a guy. I'll say that. If you get Tom Brady, you draft a quarterback. And what I like is that we're starting Stidham is because we're going to see what we have in Stidham. Because who's to say Stidham ain't going to ball out? He has the weapons. Brock Purdy has the weapons. He's balling out. Who's to say Stidham? The only difference is our defense. Of course, the Niners defense is way better than the Raiders defense. But let's not sleep on our defense also. In the past 5 games, the Raiders are giving up an average of points, 18.6, I believe, in points allowed. Yes, they are 32nd in takeaways, and they are 31st in sacks. Shannon Sharp brought that up, but the thing is the points allowed. They are not allowing a lot of points. And if you could get someone that can score touchdowns, and we know TB12 can do that, then I'm here for it. I'm here. Van City, Taylor to Allen, Dalton, Tyrod Taylor to Josh Allen, Andy Dalton to Joe Burrow, Alex Smith to Mahomes, Joe Flacco to Lamar, Tannehill to Tua. I don't understand why people are losing their damn minds. Sorry, bro. I don't want to put God's name in vain, man. I was gonna say damn minds, but I agree with you, Van City, because this is where I look back to. Look at where these teams are now. Like the Bills were losing, constantly losing and losing and losing, and they were building around like guys like Tyrod Taylor, like Ryan Fitzpatrick, until they realized, bro, Tyrod Taylor is not the guy. He ain't the right guy. They had who they have. They had Shady, I believe it was there. You know, they had a pretty good team around Tyrod. I believe they made the playoffs one time and they lost against the Jaguars in 2017. Tyrod was not the guy. And they moved on to Josh Allen. Andy Dalton, he got to the playoffs numerous times for the Bengals, but he could never get over the hump of winning that playoff game. They went out and go get Joe Burrow. Alex Smith, another guy, made the playoffs like year in and year out, but he could never win that playoff game. He couldn't get them to the next level, to the AFC Championship, or even to a Super Bowl. They draft Patrick Mahomes. Joe Flacco, a Super Bowl winner, a Super Bowl MVP, getting them to the playoffs also numerous times, was getting up there in age that they're like, no, we got to move on to Lamar. They could still build around him, but they didn't. Ryan Tannehill, another guy that's got the Dolphins to the not Super Bowl, to the playoffs, I believe a couple of times, maybe like twice. He wasn't getting it done. They move on to Tua. What has Derek Carr done that we should keep him? What has Derek Carr done that we should give him another year, a 10th year? What more do we need to give him? Raider Lux, y'all want some Mark to be more like his dad. Well, here you go. LOL. Bro, Raider Lux, you fool for that one. Shout out to the 15 people in here, bro. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that like and hit the bell. Also, share the link around. Let's talk about it. Let's get more of thoughts about, is Derek Carr a scapegoat? I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Is Derek Carr a scapegoat? And then what do you guys see moving forward with those 3 days? The 3 days after the Super Bowl. Do we trade Derek Carr or are we going to cut him? I'll get into that after I get into more of these chats. Oh, hold on. Van City says Carr didn't cross the 50-yard line against the Saints. He should have been cut 2 minutes after that game. I believe I was saying, bro, at this time, you just bench him. I think after that game, Van City, I was like, you bench him, you put in Stidham, because I believe we were like 2-5, 2-6 at that point. And I'm like, bro, we're already like so much in a hole. At this point, you put in Stidham, you see what you got for the rest of the year. I would have loved, if they were going to bench Carr anyway, I would have loved to see Stidham maybe get, the start against the Patriots. And then, from after that Rams game, that's when I would have started. I would have benched Carr and started Stidham. Just because you have more games that you can evaluate Stidham. You got 4 regular season games you can evaluate him on. 2 games, I feel like that's not going to be enough. If he plays well, he plays well. But if he plays bad, he plays bad. And unfortunately, it's 2 games. But the thing is, Stidham is going to take advantage of this opportunity. He is going to go out there and with the chip on his shoulder, and he is going to go try to make plays. I'm not saying he's going to make plays. Yeah, he's going to ball out, but it's a guy that has never been given a shot in the NFL. It's going to be his first NFL start. I mean, anything can happen any given Sunday. I'll say that. Big Mike, remember earlier last offseason, Mark Davis was on record saying he wants a rock star at quarterback. I think DC was thin ice from the jump. I mean, that's what I'm saying, Big Mike. I mean, who's to say that these conversations weren't happening behind closed doors throughout the entire season? Like this wasn't like, I don't think this after the Steelers game, they were just like, oh, bench Derek Carr. No, I think there was talks happening. I think those meetings that Mark Davis had with Josh McDaniels after the Tennessee game, and I don't know the other game. I think it was after the Indianapolis games, those constant meetings that they had after games. I think that was Josh McDaniels telling Mark Davis, like, hey, Derek Carr is not the answer. Like, we need to move on. And, of course, Mark Davis was holding on to his golden boy until that Steelers game. And he was just like, no, bro, I'm done. He finally seen the light. Chansworthy, I think we've seen the last of him. Expect the same thing you've seen with Stafford. I could agree to disagree on that. I don't think. I mean, if you're talking about him going to win a Super Bowl with another team, I don't know. Like the thing is with Derek and Matt. The thing is with Matthew Stafford, he was going into a perfect situation. That the Rams, all they needed was a quarterback. They had the wide receivers, they had the defense, they had the running backs. They had a perfect team for Stafford to walk into. I don't think Derek's going to go to any team and they're going to have it already perfect for him. The thing is, Derek's the guy that needs it perfect for him to go win a Super Bowl. Now, if you're talking about like when Stafford was with the Lions or how Stafford is now this season, because Nate had a good point. Look at Stafford now, like prior to all the injuries, prior to Cooper Kupp getting injured, prior to Aaron Donald getting injured. Like it was the same Super Bowl team coming back, and if not even better, coming back. And Stafford was not playing good quarterback football. And look at where the Rams were at. They were like 2-4 at a point, or 2-5 before all the injuries started happening. Quarterback play affects the overall team. I'll say that. Curtis Williams, they finna bring Tom Brady here. Who knows, man? Who knows? Chance Worthy says he made the Patriots too. Oh yeah, Tom Brady. Yeah, he did. He did. Got to draft Hooker. That's what I was gonna get into that, guys, real quick. I was gonna get into who do you guys think is the best quarterback in the 2023 NFL draft? Now, of course, we got Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, Hendon Hooker. Bo Nix is not going into the draft. I really was liking him for maybe a 4th round pick, but he's not going to be in the draft. Now, I do like a Hendon Hooker maybe in the 2nd round, but for me, I don't think you go quarterback in the 2nd round. Like I said, guys, it depends what we do in the offseason. If we go out and get a bridge quarterback like a Tom Brady, maybe even Jimmy G, or I would stay away from Jimmy G just because of the injuries, but just to throw his name out there. If you can go out and get a guy that knows the system, or even as a veteran that you can trust to be that bridge guy, you don't need to go quarterback 2nd round or early rounds. I feel 1st round you go defense, 2nd round you go maybe offensive line, and then 3rd round maybe you get your quarterback of the future, 3rd or 4th round. That's where I would like to go. Hendon Hooker, if he falls to the 3rd round, which he probably likely will given the ACL injury he suffered, I take him. I'm all for it. I would take him in a heartbeat. Ronald Ramuz, bro, thank you for coming on. It's been a minute since I've been seeing I'm seeing some new faces up in here. Ronald, thank you for pulling up, man. He says, F Tom Brady. That bitch still say till this day that it wasn't a fumble, smiling in our faces. Hey, but what better way to make the Raider Nation feel better than winning a ring? I just want a ring at this point. I want to see the Raiders win a Super Bowl. Van City says, we're not bringing Tommy touchdowns here to win us 3 Super Bowl, as nice as it be. We're bringing him in to mentor our young rookie. Van City, you're right. I would say maybe, hey, please give us 1 Super Bowl. I'll say that. Give us 1 Super Bowl, and then you can also mentor the young rookie. I would like that. Curtis Williams, Carr's job became in jeopardy when Dana White said he had a deal already in place for Brady and Gronk to come to Vegas. Man, Curtis, imagine if that happened. Brady and Gronk in 2020. Oh my gosh, with Darren Waller, Henry Ruggs, Nelson Aguilar taking off, man. Cash Lord Raider, man. I seen you in a chat. I forgot which chat. Was it Oasis live? It was someone's live. I think it was SE. Actually, it was Eric's live. I seen you, man. It's been a minute, Cash Lord Raider. It has been a minute since I seen you, man. I hope everything's well with you and your family, and God bless, man. Thank you for pulling up, man. I appreciate it. But Cash Lord says, hold on, I'm getting some. Give me a sec, guys. All right. Cash Lord says, let's go. Jacobs and Waller are happy. It's Stidham time. And yes, they are. They said they were excited. They trust Jarrett Stidham to run the offense. And I'm really curious to see how is this offense ran with the guy that can scramble. Because Stidham can scramble. Stidham is a mobile quarterback. He was making a lot of good throws in the preseason. Like I said, he wouldn't start. I don't think he would start anywhere else, but it doesn't hurt to see what we got. Chansworthy says nothing. Yeah, Derek Carr did nothing for us. Anybody that knows football knows he wasn't the guy. Cash Lord been saying this for years. The results came to light. Cash Lord, I don't know if that's why you hid, bro. I don't know if that's why you hid, bro. But because Derek Carr, and all the haters and everything. Oh my gosh, it was a lot. It was a lot. But I'm glad you're back, man. I am glad you're back. Chansworthy says Tannehill got playoff wins. Man, that's even more like, and that's the thing. They moved on from Tannehill, and he got playoff wins. Carr got none. Public enemy number one. I'm glad Carr is gone. Cash Lord, there isn't a scapegoat, bro. He did this to himself. McDaniels ain't throwing interceptions and missing throws. Cash Lord, this is facts, bro. Because that's what I would say. Is Josh McDaniels the one that is out there throwing the football? Is he the one out there seeing the defense? Is he the one out there making the reads? No, he's not. He's calling the plays. And I believe he has the playbook made for Derek Carr, made to hey, here's what we want to do. We're going to try to make it easier for you. But it's not, like you said, there's not a scapegoat if Derek Carr's not performing. The thing is, he hasn't performed, bro. 9 interceptions. I believe it's 9 interceptions in the last 5 games. 9 interceptions in the last 5 games. I think it's 7 in the last 3. 7 interceptions in the last 3, 9 in the last 5. That is crazy. Let's address the elephant in the room. Has anyone heard from or checked in on Rick Grimes? Bro, I haven't. I've been waiting for him to drop some new. He's going to be like, I told you, all y'all. He's like, bro, that boy was like he was like the captain. He was the leader of the Kardashians, if you want to call him that. But he was saying, bro, he wanted Carr gone probably longer than anybody. Cash Lord says Stidham was a 5-star college recruit and never got his chance. We've seen flashes in the preseason in Stidham, I believe. And that's the thing. I'm not saying that Stidham is gonna ball out for whatever reason. I'm not saying that, but I am saying he's never been given a chance. It's like when Derek Carr in his rookie season, when he was coming out, I was like, bro, we might have something with Derek Carr. Yeah, were we losing? We were, but he was playing with the confidence of running that offense. He was, making the throws, making the reads. Now it freaking flipped where he's just not making. He's not making the throw. He's not making the reads. He's missing open receivers. He's missing the touchdown pass. How many times are we going to see him overthrow Devontae Adams? That's the best wide receiver in the game, and you're overthrowing him. Like, how? Raider Geo, salute, Primo. Can't defend Carr on those overthrows. And some picks, but sometimes it felt like McDaniels put him in bad positions with play calling. That's when Carr should have just took control. And that's what I'm saying, Raider G. I'm not excusing McDaniels' play calling one bit. I think McDaniels had a lot of questionable play calling, but I would love a quarterback that would change, that would take control of the offense. Because like I said, he's the one that's out there running the offense. But that's not Derek Carr. That's not who he is. And Chansworthy says Stafford with the Lions. Oh, you're right. You're right. Oh, just get tons of picks. That's what I'm hoping for, Chansworthy. I'm hoping we get a lot of picks. Man, I am like behind. Raider Geo. The impact of a coach on a quarterback is tremendous. I didn't like Gru's play calling, but he definitely brought the best out of DC. Regardless, looking forward to the future. That's where I'm at, Raider Geo. And the thing is, that's where I'm like a little questioning McDaniels, because I'm hoping he can do the same thing. He can bring the best out in players. Maybe the play calling won't be the best as we've seen, but if he can bring the best out of the players, then that's going to go a long way. And then for our next quarterback, I'm hoping that he can bring the best out of them, because if he can bring the best out of them and that quarterback plays at least good or even great, better than what we've seen in these last 9 years, we can have playoff wins. We can have championships. Because Ziegler, the thing is, guys, Ziegler said, told us, for the fans out there that's like, oh, they're not communicating to us. They're not telling, the fans are lying to our faces. No, they're not. Because I will remember this quote from Ziegler. It was, I believe, after the Jaguars game. After the Jaguars game. Ziegler said in a presser that they are evaluating players for this season to see who's going to stay and who's going to go. And then they're also doing scouting, of course, at college campuses to see who can help them be a better football team next year. But the main goal that they want to build a contender year in and year out. That the Raiders are going to be talked about winning championships like next season, and then the season after that, and then the season after that, and then the season after that. They don't want to just, we're going to go win a Super Bowl and then we're going to suck for another 9 years. Like, no, they want to be consistent. They want to win every single season. And I love that. I love that mindset. Raider Gio, hopefully McDaniels doesn't ruin our next young quarterback we bring in. That's what I'm hoping for. And let's hope Ziegler can draft well. So far, what I've seen is that he's had a good draft. He's had I like what I see on Dylan Parham, even though he got freaking just smoked against Cam Hayward against the Steelers. He got just lit up, but he's a rookie and he's gonna learn. He's gonna get better. Thayer Munford, I would love to see more of him, but he was looking like he could be a solidified right tackle in the future. Matthew Butler, Neil Farrell Jr., when they're in, like I said, when they're in there, they are making plays. In fact, I think Neil Farrell against the Jaguars was the top rated rookie at his position. Like they show flashes, and of course, at the end of the day, they are rookies. But what I love is that they're showing flashes, and they can only show progression. If they don't, then bye. Like, you guys got to get better. You can't just stay where you're at. I expect more out of them next season, and if they don't perform, and it might be another Alex Leatherwood. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Cash Lord Raider says even Charles Woodson said he wasn't surprised that Carr was benched. Cash Lord, I seen that, and I'm like, man, when the GOAT is talking, like, all you can do is just sit back, and I'm like, hey, the GOAT's speaking. Now, of course, we got the other GOAT, Tim Brown, speaking, and I'll read his tweet out. Tim Brown went on Twitter, and he said, let me go to his Twitter real quick, guys. Give me a sec here. So Tim Brown said yesterday, he said a step backward after making the wrong turn is a step in the right direction. And maybe, you can read so much into that. There's also another guy that's like, he just needs to stop talking. Emmanuel Akko, like, Docs was telling me he just wants clicks. He's, listening to what he said yesterday, also saying that the Raiders' disrespect for Derek Carr is outlandish. He wants to remind the Raiders franchise of what Derek Carr has done for him. No, bro. No. I'm not for it, bro. Like, what has he done for us besides losing? That's all I know. I'm trying to find, he might have deleted it, but let me see, because I have it here. Also, guys, I got breaking news going on right now. The Raiders have placed, this is from Raiders.scout. The Raiders have placed cornerback Rockinson on IR. Yasin returned to practice yesterday, but team doctors decided it's best to shut him down for the season as he recovers from a knee cartilage tear suffered in week 4. Yasin ends the season having played in 11 games, starting all 11, recording 47 tackles, 9 pass breakups, and 2 tackles for losses. All career highs. He's also allowed only 31 receptions for 322 yards and a touchdown with a 82.5 quarterback rating on 59 targets. Yasin is scheduled to be a free agent at the end of the season and is projected to receive $4.5 million per year in a new contract. There is mutual interest between the two sides in it coming to an agreement for next season. Hopefully we can get him back. He was a really, really good corner for us. So here's what the tweet was from Tim Brown. This was yesterday around 9 o'clock. Tim Brown said, at Raiders, I don't know the background of this Derek Carr fiasco that's playing out today, but if it's anywhere close to what's being reported, Josh must be trying to get fired. No matter what you think of this play, his play this year, he deserves better than this. I'm sure there there are veteran quarterbacks in the league tonight going, yeah, that's how I would like to be treated. Again, I hope what I'm hearing is not correct. So like I said, there's a difference. There's different sides to this Derek Carr debate. Some people think he deserves to be benched. Some people think he doesn't deserve to be benched. I, for one, as you guys know, I want to move on from Derek Carr just for the better of both sides. We're losing with him, and I feel like we could do better without him. Cashflow says Rick Grimes already posted a video. I might need to go look at that. I'm going to go look at that. But, guys, let's move on. I got this from Yahoo Sports, NBC Sports Boston. 5 potential landing spots for Raiders quarterback Derek Carr in 2023. Real quick. Hey, Foxy 06, shout out to you. All these fools that call us Carr haters don't realize that most of us supported DC and wanted him to succeed. He fell short year after year. Foxy, this is facts, man. Like, I was rooting for this, guys. I was defending Derek Carr year in and year out. And I just came to a point where it's like, bro, like after this season, there was no excuse for you not to get us to the playoffs. There was no excuse for you to not be balling out. I predicted him to have like close to 4,500 yards passing, maybe like 35, maybe 40 touchdowns. You know, with the addition to Devontae Adams, and then you get Renfro, you get, Waller. Like, I expected him to have an MVP type season, and he didn't. And it's really frustrating that we do support DC. We want him to succeed, but he just does not do it. He doesn't succeed. But this is from NBC Sports Boston. I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. 5 potential landing spots for Raiders quarterback Derek Carr in 2023. Number 1, the New Orleans Saints. Number 2, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 3, Washington Commanders. Number 4, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 5, Las Vegas Raiders. What are you guys' thoughts on that? What are you guys' thoughts? Those are the top 5 landing spots for Raiders quarterback Derek Carr. The Saints, the Steelers, the Commanders, the Bucs, and the Raiders. What do you guys think about that? Cash Lord, facts, Foxy. We've seen the truth before them, so they are upset about reality. This is so true. This is facts. This is facts. Chance Worthy. Why is Tim Brown saying anything? And I love Tim Brown. Tim Brown loves this team. Chance Worthy. And like I said, everyone is entitled to their own opinion about this. Tim Brown is entitled to his opinion. Do I agree with it? I don't. Because like I said, what has Derek Carr done to deserve to be treated as if he's like a great quarterback, an elite quarterback? He hasn't done anything. But be enough. I want to actually show you guys something. Here, let me pull it up. I want to show you guys something that I watched today. About like a 10-minute clip. But I wanted to show you guys this. I want you guys to hear this debate. Here, let me pull it up real quick. Here, give me a sec, guys. Because I want to get your guys' thoughts about this. Because when I heard this, I was like, what? Again, what did he do to deserve getting the praise? Cashor says, no way Saints take him. Dennis Allen lost his job because of Carr and blew out Carr this year. Couldn't even get past 50-yard line. That's hella funny. Let me see. Pittsburgh wouldn't even sniff at him. After beating him, that's what I'm thinking. Texans is Carr's only spot, I think. That's the thing. I would like to entertain the Texans. Commanders or Saints, Carr isn't a Steeler. I'm thinking more of Commanders. Primos, you on fire today. We got to get to the subs up. Man, that's what I'm saying, guys. Let's get those subs up. Subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 500 before the season ends. We're also going to have a watch party, guys, on Sunday for Raiders and Niners. So share the link, guys. Share it out. I want this to be like our biggest live ever. We're going to have so much fun. Me and Nate, we're also going to be bringing on a Niner on our live. So we're going to talk shit to him, of course. Hopefully we'll have the last laugh at the end of the day. I appreciate you, Chansworthy. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the support. But yes, let's watch this. Let me share my screen here because I want to get you guys' thoughts on this. Let me get your guys' thoughts on this. Let me see. Here we go. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna get so you guys can see it. Oh, can't.
Last game ever as a Raider.
Hey, man. Hey, where's Derek Carr? He was a starter for 15 games. Where is he now? Oh, he stepped away. What's wrong? Oh, he got benched. That's the distraction. The moment that Josh McDaniels did this was a distraction. Skip, and his last two head coaches, they were never in love with Derek Carr. They liked him. They appreciated what he could do, but they never wrapped their arms around him and fully embraced him.
I think they tried and failed.
But Skip, I mean, we can trash Derek Carr, but let me tell you, since he's been in the NFL, he's had the 32nd ranked defense since he's been in the NFL. And here's where they are this year. 31st in takeaways, 30th in sacks, 30th in penalties, 27th in pass defense, 27th in red zone defense, 25th in total defense, tied for 23rd in points allowed, 22nd on third down. But that's Derek Carr. This is what I know also, Skip. Last year with a less talented roster, guess what Derek Carr had this team? In the playoffs.
He did.
Guess where this team now with a more talented roster? Not in the playoffs. Now we know this also about Josh McDaniels. Do you want to know what your record? Go back and check it, Denver. I know who he's a tremendous offensive coordinator.
He is.
When he has Belichick and he has that other guy that happened to be in Tampa.
Yep.
So now tell me when he's the offensive coordinator for the Rams, how he look? How he looking right now? So you keep talking about product of the system. You talk about Tom Brady made. Boy, Tom Brady made him.
Yep.
And it seems to be without Tom Brady, he's absolutely nothing. I'm not going to excuse Derek Carr play because he's been some really spelly at points in time this year.
Okay, he is leading the league in interceptions. Go ahead.
Well, hell, I wish his team could lead the league in the interception. I wish it. Skip, you got Max Crosby, you got Chandler Jones, and you're 30th in sacks? How? Skip, Derek Carr, look, I mean, they moved to Vegas, they got John Gruden, and then he has to deal with Antonio Brown shenanigans. You got Hard Knocks and Henry Ruggs DUI, manslaughter. You got John Gruden getting fired. You got the first round pick with a gun video. Defense terrible. Everything. Defense been bad. Waller and Renfro missing games. And Devontae like, man, we got to do better. I could have stayed in Green Bay.
He could have.
And he's probably wishing he had stayed in Green Bay, but probably not. Probably not. I mean, I don't think he doesn't strike me as a guy that has a whole lot of regret. He's closer to his family, and I know his family means a lot to him. But Skip, I'm not going to look. I don't want to excuse Derek Carr because Derek Carr and that Skip, and I try to wrap my arms around him, but there's just something that every single time that I want to get close to him, something pushes me away.
I agree with that.
And I think that's what pushed John Gruden. John Gruden never, John Gruden loved everybody that he doesn't have to coach. That guy gotcha. If I was coaching right now, I'd love to have that guy. And as soon as he gets said, that guy can't gut you. And Josh McDaniels, like I said, Tom Brady, you care about Coach Belichick. Nobody, whatever he's making, he needs to send half of that paycheck to Tom Brady. For the rest of the time, Tom Brady shouldn't have to work. He should be able to, he's probably making like $8 million. For that million, need to go to Tom Brady.
Yep. I am with your takeaway on this. I have tried and tried and tried to wrap my arm around Derek Carr. Seems like a good guy.
Yes.
He's been durable, maybe to a fault, because all he does is start games. He started 91 straight games for them. Brady started 108, but he's second in the NFL in length of consecutive starts.
Man, get him, man, Skip. Don't you know what Jared Stidham is? Did you see Stiddy in New England? You had Stiddy in New England.
They did. Josh had a hand in drafting him in what was he, a fourth round pick?
Out of Auburn.
Out of Auburn. I watched him a lot at Auburn. He flashed occasionally. He's got athletic. I watch him at Baylor. He's a big, strong kid with a nice arm. So they want to see, well, what do we got? Well, you don't got Derek Carr because I think you just burned the bridge.
Oh yeah, it's over. Yeah.
It feels over to me.
Yeah.
Now, The Athletic reported that this was not Josh McDaniels' decision. This went to the top. This went to Mark Davis.
Yeah.
He was the one who's just seen enough of Derek Carr.
No, Skip. His money, $40 million, is guaranteed if he get hurt.
Well, that's another.
You not to get.
No, but I'm saying he's ready to move ahead, move a different direction.
Because he got no money after this year.
Okay, you can get out. It would cost you about almost $6 million.
Oh,
so
$6 million.
It's not too bad to get out from under him after this year. So what's happened over the expanse of time? What is it? It's been the Raiders had 2 winning seasons and 2 playoff appearances in Carr's 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it boils down to. Even though he's had runs, he's made 3 Pro Bowls.
Yes.
He's been pretty good.
Yeah.
But he'll get you here, get you up there.
Correct.
And I think Mark Davis finally, I've just seen enough. Next question, Mark, you're going to replace him with what?
Tom Brady.
Okay. Is it going to be Tom Brady?
Tom Brady.
Okay, well, maybe. Because it's hard to go find a young
Might be
quarterback
TB12
who
to
will
Vegas.
immediately be better than Derek Carr. It's hard to go groom somebody and know for a fact they can be better than Derek Carr, who's always been pretty good. He's been pretty good.
I ask you this.
Yep.
Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow versus Mike Evans, Julio, Godwin, or Otten. Who you want?
Well, obviously. I mean, listen, when they went and got Devontae, if you remember before the year started, I said, this is a playoff team.
Yeah.
And by the way, you want to talk about underachieving? They became the first team in NFL history to blow 4 double-digit halftime leads. Never happened before, but they pulled it off this year.
Mm-hmm.
So you saw flashes of
Having triplets is
We gotta add a guy.
amazing. So we switched to the bargain detergent.
Got
But
it.
we ended up
This is
using
the
detergents
ads.
as much, and the clothes still weren't as clean as with
Give me
Tide.
guys'
We're back
initial
to Tide.
thoughts so
The
far.
clothes are clean
Y'all
again.
go said,
Do 3
I don't
times the
want
laundry
Brady
and get a
Father's
Tide
son is
clean.
undefeated.
It's got to be Tide.
He's just up there in age. He's up there in age.
there
That's
they
why I
are.
don't
There's
want
the
him.
Raiders because of what you just said. I mean, Devontae, we thought coming into this year was the best.
Yeah.
Number one.
But Skip, if you look at it, people are like, oh, Devontae, he's 5th in yards. He's tied for first in touchdowns.
Yep.
Now, he doesn't have the catches, the 115 catches that he normally would have, but he's had an unbelievable season. It's just that Justin Jefferson has had on a pace to have a historic season. We saw Tyreek.
Yeah.
So it's not like Devontae, 1250 and 12 touchdowns, Skip, is nothing to sneeze at.
I got it.
But the expectation for him
Sure.
is 1,500 yards and 16, 17 touchdowns.
Yeah. And by the way, he played in college with this quarterback.
Yes.
And by all accounts, I'm not there, so I don't know this for a fact,
very good
but I
friends.
think they're very good
They're good
friends. And I
friends.
think it's legit that they're good friends. And the way
I
he
agree.
spoke yesterday, he spoke like he was speaking of a dear friend.
He's the reason I'm here.
Yeah.
Hold on, what'd you say? You go back to that state. You said they're the first team to give up 4 double-digit halftime leads. So who that follow?
NFL history.
So when you got the 32nd ranked defense, that's what will happen.
Okay. All right. You can blame a lot of people. You can blame the head coach. And I'm with you on Josh McDaniels. I really like him as a play caller and a coordinator, but that's who he is.
Yeah.
And that's what he is. And by the way, he was a lot better play caller when he had that guy down in Tampa.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not sure about it.
It's amazing.
But yes, guys,